I am sitting on the property at the mill in Almont, Michigan. My name is Sandy Bauer, and I am the founder and volunteer director of Vets Returning Home. We're a 501c3 nonprofit that houses homeless veterans. We choose by design to receive no government funding. Even though we qualify, the strings attached, the bureaucracy, the incompetence, and the corruption make these programs not work. Basically, it's a egregious use of our taxpayer dollars. I started Vets Returning Home 12 years ago and have housed over 2,500 homeless veterans. For me and my staff, this is a labor of love, and I literally used my entire retirement account until the community became aware of the good work that we were doing, and now it's a amazing support throughout the community. My concern has always been that if something happens to me, who's gonna make sure that the revenue continues to come in to support this program? And for the record, my budget is equivalent to what these government-funded programs are paying the directors. And I run my entire program annually on just the those directors' salaries. So 3 years ago, after having spent a few years trying to replace my retirement account, 3 years ago I dipped into it again, and I opened the Veterans Thrift Store, which has been, very successful. This year we'll write a check from the Veterans Thrift Store to Vets Returning Home to help support that program to somewhere in excess of $100,000. We're hoping our goal is 120. That gets us about a third of the way there. So I purchased this property, the mill, in, I guess, March, probably February or March, with the understanding from the seller that I would restore the mill. It's a 182-year-old historical landmark on 3.5 acres in downtown Almont. Just a beautiful, quaint little community. And in the middle of this property is the Clinton River. Now back here it runs through as a creek. The water flows constantly. It's just so beautiful and peaceful, comforting. And the restorations have started on the mill, and we will be hosting this year small events like bonfires, and like the property will be for rent to host your own bonfire here on the weekends. And so everyone understands those revenues, those profits will then flow back to Vets Returning Home. I personally will never take a dime out of the income that this property generates. And with that said, I have no idea exactly what that's going to entail, like how much that will be, but I would think that it should be able to do at least $100,000 a year, if not more. And inside the mill, inside the building, we'll have a boutique that will be selling Vets Returning Home merchandise. Not only some of our hats and t-shirts and ball markers and things like that, but we'll also have items that have been donated by the community. And these will be like antiques and collectibles and just fun, cool things. So that'll be a source of revenue. And then we also have inside meeting space that we'll be renting out the meeting space. And we have a commercial kitchen. And so there'll be, on this portion of the property, we'll be hosting wedding parties, graduation parties, bachelor parties, all kinds of things will be going on here that will be generating income to support the mission of Vets Returning Home. That's my heart, that's my focus, and it has been for 12 years. We are no closer to helping solve the problem of veteran homelessness. We're no closer today than we were 12 years ago, and this is not what I expected my 70 plus hours of volunteering every week to be. We need to help our veterans. As a matter of fact, in the veteran community, I see not only are we not improving on their situation, but we're substantially failing them in a worse way. The mental health, they're starting to crack. What I'm asking for and what I need help with is building out this back half of the property as a retreat for our veterans. Not just the vets returning home veterans, I'm talking about veterans in general in this area where they can get out of whatever their crisis is and find a safe space to come here and regroup with their brothers. So because I own this property, I cannot afford to do the build out on my own for this retreat. My pockets are not deep enough to do it all by myself in a timely fashion. If I have to do it by myself, we will not get completed here with this project until at least 2027. And I'm sorry, but our veterans deserve our support now. And I think that if this is slow walked, the loss that we're going to experience in our veterans is just unacceptable. So when I say the build out back here, I have the Amish coming in, and they're going to be building a footbridge across to the undeveloped side. We'll have 10 campsites back here. There'll be 4 she sheds that will sleep 4 individually. We'll have 4 teepee style tent campsites. And I'm not sure if those will sleep 2 or 4 yet. I'm not sure about that. And then we'll have 2 tree houses. And so it'll be a very cool, very fun, very calming place for them to just, if you're coming from Metro Detroit, it's pretty much 20 to 30 minutes from wherever you're at, even downtown. And to be able to come here and sit around the campfire with your brothers, having that camaraderie and support, along with the therapist that specializes in PTSD, and have that PTSD group atmosphere around the campfire is, I think, probably, well, I know, is better medicine than what they're taking now, is just massive amounts of prescriptions to mask the pain that they're in. And we need to get to the core of the problem, and it's not just feeding them more narcotics. I had the pleasure of meeting Annie Lavin, and Annie wrote a book, and now with her book and the success of her book, she has started doing seminars all over the country. She has just adjusted, I guess would be the word, her seminars to focus specifically on veterans and veteran issues. And once Annie and I sat down and shared each other's missions, we realized the synergy and what Annie brings in these seminars, especially now that they're focused specifically on veterans. What this brings is the actual solution to address the veterans' issues before they're in crisis. Every veteran that I've helped in the past 12 years has always been while they're hanging on by their fingernails, this close to becoming one of the statistics of our 1 in 22. And for those of you that don't know what that is, look up veterans and 22, and you'll see it. And it's unacceptable. And I see Annie's seminars as the fix. I fully intend to launch this retreat by having Pete Hegseth join his brothers here and experience the campfire, around the campfire, the PTSD group. They get up the next morning, they have some breakfast in the meeting space, and then they participate in the seminar. And once they complete that seminar, Pete for sure will get it. And as I'm confident, it will resonate with majority of these veterans that are struggling. And what Annie and I both have identified is the main issue is that our veterans, after being discharged and serving as a soldier, as a warrior, they knew exactly who they are and what their purpose was until they're no longer a soldier anymore. And once they're discharged and they come home, they're lost. And this seminar helps them identify the importance of having a purpose, and then how assisting them in finding their purpose and how to move forward. And for anyone who can resonate with what I'm saying, is that we don't get very far in our journeys unless we have a purpose. There's always roadblocks in the way, but when you have a purpose, you figure out how to get past those roadblocks. And that's what I've identified in 12 years. Our veterans don't know how to break through the obstacles that life throws at them because they're missing the ingredients of what the ability to identify a new purpose, and they think it's life over for them. They're still a warrior in their hearts, and that's no longer who they are in reality. So I try to explain to them, it doesn't mean that life is over. You don't just go through the motions now. It's another chapter in your book of life. That was one chapter. Now you're going on to another chapter. You get to write the chapter. The story is yours, but you have to pick the direction. Otherwise, how do you know you've arrived if you don't know where you're going? So that's kind of the purpose of purpose. I'll have links to Annie Laven's seminars and her book and all those things, and you can read her bio. But Annie and I are partnering on this. I fully expect that once Pete Hegseth is here and he gets it, he will be walking us right into Congress. And the big picture is not only to help our veterans who are so struggling and hurting and broken, but to help the military, our soldiers, as they're discharging before they come home. Every single soldier should be participating in this seminar so that when they come home, they know they know who they are, they know where they're going, and they know how to get there. And I'm not going to stop until this happens. I just can't do this part by myself. I need help. And I've started a crowdfunding campaign. It's on Give, Send, Go. There'll be links provided. I'm looking for sponsorship. Obviously, you can make a donation for any amount. This back half of the property, because I own it, I have leased it to Vets Returning Home for $1 a year. A long-term lease. The vets will never pay to come and take advantage of the retreat space and enjoy this wonderful property and the camaraderie and support of their brothers. This will always be free to them, on top of the fact that when this retreat is not in use for the veteran seminars and PTSD groups, it will then be treated kind of as an Airbnb in the community where it will be rented. And you can come and camp here. You're going to pay for it. And 100% of the monies that's generated here goes to Vets Returning Home. So I will never touch a dime. There'll be some expenses like an Airbnb. Once somebody spends the night in the she shed, or the TP, you got to change the sheets and clean it up, and make sure that the trails to the campsites are clear and no falling limbs so people don't get hurt. So they'll have some expenses against it, insurance, those typical things, but all of the profits, 100% of the profits are coming back to vets returning home. And what that's going to generate in revenue, I don't know, but it all goes towards the same, my goal in making sure that when I can't do this anymore, I mean, I'm going to be 67 years old. I have a broken tailbone, 2 crushed vertebrae. I injured myself when I was opening the thrift store. I cannot do this by myself, and we all know that I cannot do it forever. So there has to be a transition, and I just need to know before I pass the baton on to someone else, not that I intend to do that anytime soon, but I'm not going to wait until the crisis is upon vets returning home. I'm getting all of this strategically placed to make sure that the revenue streams are there to continuously support our program and never, ever make our homeless veterans go homeless yet again because vets returning home can't sustain. That's not going to happen. I'm going to finish this, and if I have to do it by myself, I will. But it's going to be a long, slow process that our veterans need now. And all I can say is some of the things in the sponsorship, if you want to sponsor the footbridge, it's going to cost about $7,500. We'll name the footbridge after you. It'll be your legacy. I need to build a bathhouse. I haven't gotten that price yet. That's between $20,000 and $25,000. Name the bathhouse. Name a she shed. There's so much that needs to be done, and you can be a part of this. It takes a village. Me and my small team of volunteers cannot do this by ourselves, and we shouldn't have to. These are our veterans, not mine. They're ours. Our life is what it is because of them, and they deserve our support. They need our support. Our government has failed them, and if we don't step in, it's going to be a much bigger disaster than it has been, and it's unacceptable. But as of this moment, I got vets returning home. That's not in jeopardy. As far as the restoration of the mill, I am personally restoring it. It needs a new roof. It needs a new kitchen. The roof leaked and destroyed the kitchen. It needs all new board and batten siding. We're building decks as we speak. And then all the incidentals. I'm putting in 3 French double doors. It's just going to be beautiful. and I'm doing that, and I'm not asking for help on that. I made that commitment. But this retreat, I can't do it by myself. And I really don't think I should have to. I know that there are enough people out here that love and understand, love our veterans and understand what they're going through. And here's an opportunity for you to help. And that's all I'm asking. Help me, help them. Thank you.